Спортивный канал НТВ+ приглашает вас на очередное шоу из серии «Самый сильный человек». Мировой финал 98-го года, который прошел в Марокко и который комментирует Алексей Мельников. Сегодня у нас третья группа участников. Напомню, что всего их 40, 10 групп по 4 человека. Отборочное соревнование, которое определяют десятку самых-самых лучших. И это будет уже суперфинал. Сегодня третья группа, и сейчас мы с вами познакомимся с нашими сегодняшними участниками. По традиции, каждый из участников получит 4 задания. И вот первое задание – фермерская прогулка. 2 небольших баллончика весом каждый по 120 килограммов нужно отнести на расстояние 30 метров, ну, туда и обратно сносить, желательно бегом. Кто быстрее добежит, тот и выиграл. Победитель получает 4 балла в каждом упражнении, ну и, соответственно, 3, 2 и 1 в обратном. А вот трехкратный обладатель титула «Самый сильный человек», а ныне работающий уже на телевидении, в американском канале ESPN, Билл Кезмайер форму-то подрастерял. Но все равно он будет нам давать какие-то ценные советы и комментарии. Ну а вот и наши участники.
Peter de Bruin, South Africa, lane 3, Glenn Ross of Ireland, and in lane 4, Heinz Olisch from Germany. Now remember, this is in excess of 530 pounds. They've got to carry 50 meters. Olisch and de Bruin are G to G. They are good to go with in excess of 500 pounds as they fly down the course.
The hard part of this race is the turn. Peter looks like he's taken a different technique and set the cylinders down and lost a lot of time to pick them back up and get in the race.
In contrast, Terry Brennan of the USA is really struggling just to get down that last 25 meters. Heinz Olisch flies through, carries them an extra 5 meters for good measure. Peter de Bruin second, Glenn Ross in third. Meanwhile, back on the course, this is Terry Brennan from Orlando, Florida, as Heinz Olisch watches. He is the winner of the Farmer's Walk.
I know what Terry's going through here. Those cylinders are so hard to carry all the way down this course. His body's really hurting him right now, but he won't give up.
Brennan staggering to the finish line. Remember, those cylinders have to clear the line, so he's still got about a half length to go.
Terry is one of the smaller guys in this competition. He just wants to finish the race and show everybody that he's a contender for the world's strongest man.
And Terry Brennan stops the clock at 1:05. If you look at Peter de Bruin in lane 2, he beat Heinz to the 25-meter mark, but made the mistake of dropping the tanks. Heinz simply did a 180 and headed for home. He ends up with a big smile and a victory. So the Farmer's Walk goes into the history book, and for American Terry Brennan, not the start he was looking for. He had some problems.
He surely took off slow. The rule change this year allowed the athletes to stand erect and take off with the cylinders, and it cost him about 2 or 3 seconds of not capitalizing on that rule change.
All right, let's talk about this group. It is featured Heinz Olisch. He's got to be the class of the field.
Oh, he surely is. He's won a number of competitions throughout Europe this summer. He's 6 foot 3 inches tall, 330 pounds. He's Germany's strongest man.
And there's a dark horse in this group who you really like from South Africa.
Peter de Bruin. You have to be in great condition for all of these events, and he's really strong and a tough competitor.
Well, 1 event down, 3 more to go. Next up will be the log lift. This is going to be grueling.
Oh, it sure is. In a 90-second time frame, these athletes take a 220-pound log from the floor, overhead to arm's length, and back down again as many times as they can.
After that, it's the arm-over-arm pull or the truck pull.
A really heavy truck, pulling arm over arm with a lot of hand, bicep, back strength. These athletes are going to really be tested in this event.
And if you have anything left, it is the tire flip. Now, these things are not your average radials built over 800 pounds.
They've got to flip them end over end over a 100-foot course, probably 7 or 8 times. A really grueling event.
Should be a great show. Stay with us. When we come back, we're cracking out the tall lumber as the world's strongest man continues from Tangier, Morocco.
Hi, my name's Big Glenn Ross, and I'll be coming up next in the log lift.
This edition of The World's Strongest Man is brought to you by Metrix Engineered Nutrition. We've moved to the beach here in sunny Morocco for the log lift competition. Before we get underway, let's take a look at the scoring. Point distribution looks like this: 4 points for first, 3 for second, 2 for third, and 1 for fourth, with the top point getter in the group advancing to the final. Standings after the Farmers Walk: Olish gains 4 points. De Bruyn, with a close second, has 3, with Ross and Brennan trailing in third and fourth respectively. This is Terry Brennan from Orlando, Florida, 38 years old. Let's take a moment to meet the strongman.
Hi, I'm Terry Brennan. I'm 38 years old, and I'm from Orlando, Florida. Dance, I love dancing. It's always been a passion of mine. My family's always been dancers and things of that nature, so I like going out dancing a lot. I went to a Latin nightclub one night, and it just a lot of energy, a lot of passion in their music and their dancing, and you really feel it a lot. And they like to dance, I like to dance, and that's why I go there. I just learned merengue, and I like to try to learn how to do the salsa. It's a little bit faster, but I'd like to learn that and some swing. Most people idolize people in sports and things of that nature, but my dad, who's been my motivator all my life, he pushed me, never missed anything I was ever involved in. He just had this dynamic ability to push me and get me to win all the time.
Terry could certainly use a little of his dad's inspiration right now. He is currently sitting in fourth place after the Farmers Walk. Glenn Ross, only 1 point better. He is in third. Both of them looking to make a move. Glenn Ross using his large chest, and his chest actually measures 61 inches, Bill. He is actually just rolling that up and over.
He's really a massive man. One of the best techniques in the log lift is to lift the log as high as you can, set it on your stomach, roll it up your chest, and then press it up to arm's length. He's built perfectly for the event.
Glenn Ross logging his 6th rep. Terry Brennan working on his 3rd. There he gets it. Ross is just in a pace right now. Look how quick he sets it down and goes right back at work. Now he's taking a breather.
Glenn's strategy is just to keep moving as smoothly and strategically as he can through these 90 seconds, so he doesn't expend too much energy. He has to be very rhythmic. One press, set it down, and do it again.
Terry Brennan struggling. Remember, these are 243-pound logs. They get 90 seconds to record as many reps as possible. Brennan working on 4. Ross trying to get into double digits, and he does it. Glenn Ross up to 10 reps with just about 15 seconds remaining.
Glenn is so massively strong, but his cardio fitness is in question with an event like this.
Glenn Ross now at 12 as time runs out. And you could say Glenn Ross is happy with that performance. Terry Brennan picks up 3 reps. So from Northern Ireland is big Glenn Ross, who has the physique that allows him quick, short reps, and he certainly is fired up.
Good lift, Glenn. 12 reps. How was it?
Very hot today. I'm very strict in the reps compared to last year. I just concentrated on keeping it strict and pacing myself. I'm just completely out of breath.
If you had a little more time, could you have done a couple more reps? You looked really strong.
Possibly there might have been maybe 1, 2 more in me, but it was tough.
Real strong. Todd?
Thank you, Bill. Only separated by 1 point after the first event, the spot to advance to the final is still wide open. Next up, this is Heinz Olish from Germany. Peter De Bruyn, South Africa. Heinz Olish knowing a bit or two about metal. He is a plumber in southern Germany. He is a strongman veteran, but you really like Peter De Bruyn. He showed you something that first event.
He sure has. He's got great upper body strength and has no problem pressing this log. Keeping his balance is the tougher part of the event. Heinz looks like he's on a pretty good pace to get up near 13 or so reps.
30-year-old Peter De Bruyn, a telephone technician just outside of Johannesburg. De Bruyn picks up his 6th rep, Bill, but he looks like he's having problems with the balance.
The balance and the lockout. The whole body goes into fatigue. After you get that log up to your chest, you start to lose your balance. You get a little bit dizzy. Just pressing it up is really a tough part of this lift.
And De Bruyn locks out for 7, Olish at 9. And remember, the score to beat, 12 reps by Big Glenn Ross. And that will do it. Heinz Olish 9, Peter De Bruyn 7, so the victory goes to Big Glenn Ross. Besting his group by 3 reps and taking first gives Glenn Ross something to be happy about. He stands in 2nd place behind Heinz Olish after 2 events with 2 still to come. Up next, it's the arm-over-arm poll on the world's strongest man. What a setting for our next event here in Tangier. This is a Syrian mosque in the heart of town, where our 3rd event of the day will be taking place, the arm-over-arm pull, and this truck will be challenging the athletes to their fullest. With 2 4th-place finishes, American Terry Brennan needed to win this event to get back in the hunt for first. But the truck won this time, and Brennan was only able to pull the truck 22.65 meters of the 30-meter course. Peter De Bruyn, still in the thick of things, trails our leader Heinz Olish by only 2 points. Let's take a moment and meet Peter De Bruyn.
Hi, my name is Peter De Bruyn. I'm 29 years old and I'm from Bloemfontein in South Africa. Oh, we can't really think about anything. You hear the people in the background, but you can't hear specific people. You don't think about anything. You just go in there and you know what to do. And then you just do what you have to do. There's not really time for any other sports. It takes all your time in gym. But I love tennis and golf as well. I love gardening. I love to work in the garden. It helps you to relax.
Well, relaxed is probably one thing Peter is not right now. He just watched Terry Brennan struggle with the arm-over-arm pull, and he needs to do well if he is to have any chance, Bill, of advancing to the World Strongman Final.
You're right, Todd. In order to do well, he can't miss that rope one time with his hands. He's got to use his legs as much as he can and throw his shoulders back and really use that lower back strength to pull that truck down the course.
And I guess at all costs, the last thing he wants to do is let that truck, once he's got it moving, come to a stop.
You're right, Todd. If possible, he wants to accelerate the truck down the course. The hardest part is when your hands are really fatigued, is to grab onto that rope, squeeze really tight, and pull as hard as you can when your whole body's in fatigue.
Well, he's doing pretty good, coming up on 1 minute, starting to tire, but Peter De Bruyn looks like he is going to finish the course. Inches to go.
Just a remarkable effort by Peter De Bruyn.
And he finishes the course with a time very respectable, 58.25, so under a minute. And with fellow Africans cheering him on, the South African Peter De Bruyn has really put the pressure on Ireland's Glenn Ross and Germany's Heinz Olish, who are coming up next. Bill Kazmar standing by with Peter.
Is your technique any different than anybody else's?
I don't think it's different. What I did is to use my long back to get a good stride backwards. And that really helps me.
Do you think that performance was enough to catch Heinz?
I hope so. It's a hard pull, cardiovascular, and on your grip. So I don't think it's impossible to beat it, but I think it's a good time.
Thanks, Peter.
De Bruyn looking to join Riku Kiri of Finland, who has already advanced to the final, as has Wout Zilstra of the Netherlands. Let's go back in World Strongman history with another Metrics moment.
O.D. Wilson showed great promise in 1990 to possibly be the greatest strongman ever. His competition was against the two-time champion John Paul Sigmarsson. John Paul had shown some disrespect to OD by saying that he would repeat as the world's strongest man, and OD was no competition.
I told you from the beginning, I am going to win. And of course I believe in it.
OD used that as fuel on his fire and took the anvils and threw them onto the truck as if they were small toys.
I hate for people to overlook me like I'm not there. It makes me mad. And now I'm mad. I will win. I will win.
The last event was a running event, and he was a man of 450 pounds, carrying a very small sack on his back, but having to go many hundred meters, and he just wasn't fit enough to win. At that point, John Paul had to take first place, and OD needed to take last place, and that's exactly what happened, and John Paul was victorious again.
When it comes down to pure strength, I am the strongest man on this planet. I may not be able to run. I may not can jump over a bus. But I can move anything on this planet.
True champions. Unfortunately, the world strongman community is mourning the loss of Odie Wilson and John Paul Sigmarsson, who passed away in the past few years. Back to the arm-over-arm pole, beginning this event in second place in 7 points. Big Glenn was in good position, but after the arm-over-arm pole, Ross hauled the truck a mere 9.34 meters. With Ross having such a poor performance, Heinz Olisch will now keep first overall if he can beat Terry Brennan's mark of 22.65 meters. Now, De Bruyn has the time to beat with 58.25 seconds. If Olisch does not beat that time, he will still have first overall, but he will only be separated by 1 point from Peter De Bruyn with one event still to come. And Bill, not much of a question that he's going to beat that 22-meter mark set up by Terry Brennan, but do you think he can beat the 58 seconds put up by Peter De Bruyn?
Well, Todd, he had a great first pull, but that rope seems to be wavering around just like a snake. He's having a hard time controlling it to be able to pull it in.
58.25 is the time Heinz Olisch is trying to beat. He's at about the halfway point and about 30 seconds, so he's on pace to go over that. He needs a strong charge here at the end.
He's pulling so hard, but it looks like there's a lot of fatigue in his back.
Just under 10 seconds if he wants to beat Peter De Bruyn.
55.
And Heinz Olisch has come up short in the arm-over-arm pole. The victory will go to Peter De Bruyn, and Heinz Olisch has got to be disappointed.
South Africa's Peter De Bruyn won by over 5 seconds. The difference between their technique was simple. Peter was able to gather in the rope and keep a strong, steady pull throughout the race and accelerate the truck through the finish line.
With a first for De Bruyn, he climbs within 1 point of our leader, Heinz Olisch, who has 10 points. A great battle for first shaping up with one event to go.
Hi, I'm Peter De Bruyn, and I'm up next in the tire flip.
This edition of The World's Strongest Man is brought to you by Metrics Engineered Nutrition. About to get underway here at the harbor with our last event, the tire flip. But before that, let's get you caught up on the first 3 events. Germany's Heinz Olisch got off to a quick start in the Farmer's Walk. Edging out South Africa's Peter De Bruyn. Ireland's Big Glenn Ross came on strong and claimed victory in the log lift. And it was the South African Peter De Bruyn who rounded out the competition by taking first in the arm-over-arm pole. Glenn Ross and Terry Brennan squared off in the tire flip. Brennan has no chance of qualifying for the final, but Ross, with the win, has a slim chance. If Olisch finishes last and De Bruyn finishes third, they would all be tied and have a tire flip off. A very outside chance for Ross. And a disappointing showing for Terry Brennan. Ross set his mark at 20.40 meters and Brennan at 12.67 meters. If either Olish or De Bruyn pass Brennan's mark, Ross will be out of the competition. The situation here is a close one. Olish leads by 1 point. If Olish wins the tire flip, he automatically advances. If De Bruyn wins the tire flip, although he will have tied Olish in points, the first place will be his second first place in the competition, and he will then advance based on that ruling. So this should be an exciting 90 seconds, Bill. Once we've got all that out of the way, let's watch some amazing men at work.
Both the same height and leverage advantages. A lot of overall body power by both athletes. This is a good race.
The edge and experience you'd have to give to Germany's Heinz Olish. Quite possibly the edge and heart would have to go to Peter De Bruyn.
Sure seems to me like Peter is hungry. He wants to beat Heinz so badly and make a name for himself.
So close. One rotation apart. Remember, it's 90 seconds. And whoever goes the furthest is going on to the World Strongman Final.
These guys have pushed themselves so hard through the past 3 events. Their bodies are just shot, but they're giving everything they've got to turn that tire over.
Heinz Olish actually edging ahead now. Remember, these tires in excess of 800 pounds. Now it's Peter De Bruyn, and it's going to come down to one final push.
Everything's timing. It looks like Peter's got the advantage, and he's going for yet another flip.
10 seconds remaining. Heinz Olish, if he's going to make a move, he's got to do it now. If Peter De Bruyn gets his flip over, it's all over. And the German has seen his window of opportunity dissipate. Peter De Bruyn is moving on to the Elite 10 in the final of the World's Strongest Man. Well, Peter De Bruyn knew what he had to do going in, and he was not going to settle for anything less than an all-out victory. He advances to the final with an upset victory over Germany's Heinz Olish. A true sportsman, Heinz Olish is standing by with Bill Kazmaier.
Heinz, you gave an awesome effort. It looked like you were coming right at the end. What happened?
I gave everything. Couldn't do more.
That's all a guy can do is give everything he's got. You do it in every event. I'm so sorry we're not going to see you in the finals.
For me, it was a big disappointment.
So a big upset with Peter De Bruyn advancing to the World's Strongest Man final with a tire flip being the deciding factor. The third spot is locked up for the upcoming final. A great all-around effort by this group of strongmen. For Bill Kazmaier, I'm Todd Harris saying so long from Tangier, Morocco, and ESPN's coverage of the World's Strongest Man.